Hey all. So if you are coming from the post I made on Instagram or Facebook, um, I'll you know reiterate some things. But for probably the past 2 years, really, um, I've just been slowing down. I just been having health problems, both physical and mental, and you know, Mountain King has been and still is one person, and that's me. And that means that when I'm out of commission or, moving at a slower rate, that means everything to do with Mountain King also um, is flowing that same way. Um, and fortunately, and one of the few things that's good about um, having it Mountain King be me is that I get to connect with you guys on a personal level. I get to talk to you guys about life and music and whatever, and it. I love that. I love that. I love how it's I can you guys are amazing. You lift me up when I'm down, and you inspire me, and hopefully I'm doing the same for you with my creations, um and you know a lot of you, especially people who've been following me forever, understand that it's just me, um and as a result, and like I said, especially in recent times, I'm I've been having rough days more and more, and getting slowing down more and more, and that has resulted in wait times going past what I quote. And it becomes harder and harder for me to figure out how long something's going to take because of all these things. And I just I worry that you know first of all, I hate not getting stuff out on time. It's not how I want to roll. It's like, I want to give you guys everything you want. Um and it just, it stresses me out when I'm, not getting stuff out. And I know some of you just don't get that, and kind of, I mean, I understand that if you're going to run a business, you have to have a certain level of quality control and customer service and reliability, all that stuff. And fortunately, you know, it, it's it. My work, my builds, my is everything is still, I believe, top notch. I don't get stuff sent back almost ever, and if it does, it's usually either it's not actually broken, or it's 15 years old, and the foot switch is wonky or something. But even that just doesn't. Anyway, um, but it's something that I want to. Obviously, I want someone else involved. It's just kind of difficult to find a person, and I want somebody in the area that can. I don't want to do something cross country, really. Um, And so I don't know. I want. I guess one of the reasons why I wanted to talk about stuff, because I want everyone to know what the situation is. I'm trying to improve, you know, how quick I can get stuff out, but I recently it seems like just I've just had things out of the blue come that like messes up everything. Like my laptop broke like a month ago and totally screwed up everything because I just had so much of my orders involved in there, and the screen was destroyed, and I'm going through my emails with my phone, and it was just like I ended up shipping out a pedal to someone who had already shipped. He's like, hey man, thanks for the pedal, but you already sent this pedal to me. So yeah, and what else was I thinking about? My brain is going blank now. But yeah, I just I don't know. I'm trying to figure out a way to make things just a little more. I don't know. But I've just been really depressed and stressed out about not, having things the way I want them to be. And it's something I've talked to a lot of you, a lot of my customers, a lot of you guys about what's going on with me. But I kind of wanted something a little bit more, up close and personal and candid, rather than just being like, hey, I'm sorry, I'm, dealing with, health issues, or, I'm, like like there's just stupid things too. Like I was crossing the street and I tripped over some metal shit that shouldn't have been there. It was like from some construction thing, and I didn't see it because I'm like looking both ways, and I like end up like crashing into the sidewalk. Giant lump on my head, blood running down, and then the rest of my body all busted up as well. And was in bed for days while my brother was like nursing me back to health, like dealing with my wounds. This is a scar right here. But like I said, when things like this happen, I can't have someone else pick up where I left off, because there is nobody else. It's the more time that goes by, the more I realize like doing this with one person just doesn't. It prevents things from progressing the way I want. And I want to put out more and more pedals, but it takes so much more time because I'm doing all this other stuff instead of focusing. Even the dome, it took forever, for that to be ready, designed to be done, just because, I was trying to like get in time whenever I could, and but and having, I keep thinking about certain things, like having a bunch of pedals, a bunch of different products is awesome, but it also means I need to stock more parts, more different parts, and it also means that I'm not one of those companies that has like one or two pedals where they just build a whole bunch of one pedal. I'm building this pedal and then this pedal because depending on, the orders that come in, and lately I've been taking a bunch of custom shop orders, which takes so much longer to build because they don't have PCBs made for them, and I don't have enclosures with graphics on them with the drill crosshairs on it that makes it so much easier. I have to like put like template on there and mark it, take out my little square, and you just it's just ridiculous. I have to do so much to like drill this thing out, whereas normally I'm just like center punch, get my drill press, and it's done. But it's like I don't want to turn those orders away. I want to give people what they want. So I don't know. I want you guys to dig what I have to give. I love you guys, man. It's like I said, there's really days that you guys will just send me just a little message that's talking about how you love the pedal that you bought, or or someone complimented the sound that you were getting from the pedal at a show or something, and it's just like it keeps me like going when I'm like just not just having trouble like get moving at a faster pace. But anyway, I realize I think I need to do this more. Just post more stuff of me just talking to you guys about what's going on inside of me, or what's going on, what new thing I'm working on, because I spend all my day by myself working with like a TV on, just playing whatever on YouTube while I'm working, but I'm not like having conversations with people. And with my like mind being what it is, and constantly having all this stuff going on inside of it, my ADHD and my dyslexia, all these cognitive issues, when I don't let stuff out, there's so much going on inside my head that when I don't let it out, it messes up everything. It unfocuses what little focus I have. But when I talk about stuff to people, and even if it's just doing it this way, I feel relieved. I feel calmer. I feel more focused. And I've talked about doing a video series like that, like on a regular basis. And I have this problem where I overthink everything. I'm a perfectionist in many ways, and so I'm like, well, what should I talk about? Instead of just talk about whatever's going on, I think it over, and I think about it more and more, and then I like say, you know what, I'm gonna come back to this later on, and I don't. But I'm gonna try to do that, because I feel like I need to do whatever I can to keep my mental health healthy, and that often, helps physical health. The people don't realize, like, what things like depression and anxiety do to your body. Like, there's a very connected thing going on there, and it just, can cause you, like, just pain or fatigue or what, just all kinds of things that, tie you up and sometimes paralyze you, and to the point where you can't, you sit, you're sitting in a seat and you can't get yourself to do what you're trying to do. It's like this very strange, like, fight between you and you, this one part of your mind and this other part of your mind, and just like battling. And yeah, I need to, I know I need to do things like try to play music. I haven't really played music in forever. Part of that is because I'm so busy with trying to get orders out that I don't give myself that time. Like, I'll be like, oh, I'm gonna go and play, patch up my modular and, play some music, and then I say no. I feel guilty because I don't want to. I'm like, no, I have work to do, so, either I'm going to do that or I'm going to go to bed. There's no time for fun. It's, I know it's it's not, the best thing to do, but, it's one of my problems, just. But anyway, guys, thanks for listening. Hope I didn't bum you all out too much, but I appreciate those of you who watch this, and, because I'm talking, to you guys because you're a part of what I'm doing, and you're a very important part of what I'm doing, and it's a, feedback system that hopefully, benefits both of us. But yeah, alright, y'all, I'm gonna go for now. If you have any thoughts, feel free to share, and I'll talk to you again soon.